Hello everybody, I'm ShadowRockZX, and I'm here with special guest Ian Flynn to talk about Mega Man Zero Timelines. How you doing, Ian?
Alright, how are you doing?
Doing wonderful. So, starting off here, normally I would say you would need no introduction, but just in case, can you introduce some of your past and current works in the Mega Man sphere?
I wrote the 50-issue run with Archie Comics that did adaptations of Mega Man 1 and almost to 4 until it went on indefinite hiatus. And the writer for Mega Man Timelines Zero, a story that takes place during Mega Man Zero's timeline. That's going to be coming out by Udon in the near future? I really ought to look that up.
I believe that's August 20th, so just in a couple of days here.
Wow, there you go. All right.
So this will probably be coming out right when the comic is out. So hey, go buy it.
Perfect timing. Yeah, there you go. I do so much of this stuff well in advance that by the time it comes out, I've already moved on to other stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, I did that thing back then.
Yeah.
That's neat. Right.
All right. But yeah, I really love your work on the Archie comics. Really enjoyed those.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions about that at the end, but for now, tell me a little bit about your Mega Man journey. How did you discover the franchise, and what led you to create comics for it?
I was always aware of Mega Man. I mean, how could you not be? But I hadn't really gotten deep into it because I am terrible at Mega Man games. Like, legit lost to Chill Penguin. Kind of bad. It's sad, really. And then, because of my work with the Sonic the Hedgehog title under Archie, Capcom was looking to branch out and do some more licensed work. So they came to Archie because of their pedigree with licensed books at the time. And my editor said, do you want to write a Mega Man book? And I said, I need to do my research, but absolutely yes, let me on board. And thankfully, the Mega Man fan base is incredibly passionate, and the series is extremely well documented. So I spent days deep diving into wikis and watching long plays and speed runs and looking up minutia on the Japanese exclusive stuff, looking up stuff that was exclusive to the Ariga manga and trying not to steal from them, and just really immersed myself in the world of Mega Man so that I could tell the most robust version that I could. I'm still terrible at the games, but I know me some Mega Man.
That's interesting that you really got deep into it when you were asked to work on the comic. I think I know a lot of people that have had trouble with Chill Penguin as well. I have a couple of friends that said the same thing. But if you had to choose one, what was your favorite Mega Man series or game?
Oh, shoot. I know that when we were plotting things out, I was especially looking forward to Mega Man 4's story. Everything from the dupliciousness around Cossack's attack to Blues finally making his big move. And it just kind of shook up the formula in a neat way. Mm-hmm. And we spent so much time building up and setting up those pieces. I was really looking forward to that payoff. Of all the versions, I think I kind of like X the most. I feel like I could just kind of go nuts with that universe. And part of me was looking forward to / dreading trying to figure out that continuity and committing it to comic form. And kind of again, X4 was what I was looking forward to the most if we could get to it because of the intrigue and the battle of egos, really, between Repliforce and the Hunters. And trying to add some nuance to that would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think Daniel, the current writer on the X comics, is going to have a lot of fun when he gets there. But beyond that, oh boy, it's going to get messy. But it is a shame that we didn't get to Mega Man 4 on the Archie comics. Stopped just before.
Yeah.
That would have been fun. But let's look forward to the current works right now with Mega Man Zero timelines. So just for the uninitiated, can you explain to the readers what you can expect for Zero timelines in terms of its story?
The Mega Man Timelines series is a number of one-shots that are very, very loosely connected that goes across the entire principal timeline of Mega Man, from classic to legends. My story takes place during the Mega Man Zero arc. I don't want to spoil too much about when it happens, but I wanted to do more than just a retelling, but I didn't want to add anything that would be too in the weeds for someone who's just picking up a random Mega Man book. You know, someone who goes, "Oh, this looks cool, what is this?" and be completely lost because it's super deep in continuity. Thankfully, there's like this beautiful little segment of the Zero storyline that you can explore something a little bit new, but you don't have to have crucial understanding of the whole thing. So it fits, but it also isn't going to derail the narrative in any way. You had your cake and eat it too. It was perfect. I loved that scenario.
Yeah, I don't want to make you spoil anything if you don't want to, but it did remind me a lot of Inti-Creates' original proposal for a Zero 1.5 game. Because there are some preview pages that's already out. We've seen Zero fighting enemy types that haven't been seen in Zero 2's intro stage. Ciel and Elpizo are building the new resistance base. It seems like a little bit between Zero 1 and 2, which I think is really fascinating.
Shoot, if they already showed off all that, then yeah, it takes place between 1 and 2. It's a bridging story. So,
were you inspired by that Zero 1.5 proposal from way back?
That I actually didn't know about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the story goes that they wanted to do Zero 1.5 after they released 3, but then Capcom said no, we want an actual sequel, so they had to scrap that and work on Zero 4 instead.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that whole proposal coming to fruition now. It's really cool. And then other question I had was, in one of the preview pages that are out there, we see all 3 of the X-Guardians together. And we know at this point, Zero just took out their master. We know Harpuya is the one who finds Zero unconscious at the beginning of Zero 2. But it is interesting to see like all 3 of the Guardians rushing into action in the preview page. What can we expect them to be kind of up to?
Okay, good. It did give away all the context. Because it is between the 2 chapters, with Copy X being such a figurehead of what's left of society at that point, it was interesting to me, how do the Guardians handle his absence? To say, yes, our Messiah figure is dead really would cause a bit of a panic. So how do they handle everything about that? The politics of it, the forward-facing and the backroom talking about it. How do they maintain their status and make that transition into where you see them in Zero 2? And also, how do we have an opportunity to show off what absolute powerhouses they are and why they are the figureheads that they are? So finding a place to do all that without shaking up things too much was a bit tricky, but I think we did it.
That's cool. I'm looking forward to that for sure. Another thing I love in a couple of the preview pages released so far is the incredible action shots on display. Just Zero going wild on these Maverick bots. Can you speak about your thought process there and also your partnership with Hanzo on the artwork, who's doing an incredible job, by the way?
Yeah, he is. Didn't get to work with him directly on it, and that's how a lot of comic book work goes. I'll send my script in, editor approves, and then it goes into the art process, and I'm out of the loop until it's published. So, at least half the time, I don't know what it's going to look like till it comes out. So I have to be as clear and as descriptive as I can in the script so that, if it's a situation where it's completely out of my hands, the end result is something that everyone would be happy with, I would hope. But the Zero series was very action oriented. The step up from what you could do in the X series is one of the hallmarks of those games. Just how fast and visceral and just cool Zero is. If you're good at the game. If you're like me, it's a sad case, but that's the outlier. In continuity, Zero's an absolute badass. So wanted to convey that. He is an extremely seasoned and capable warrior. He should be just absolutely obliterating the fodder.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely nailed it there. It's really awesome. But yeah, Mega Man Zero Timelines is coming out August 20th, and I think people should pick it up. Should be really cool. So let's switch gear to the Archie comics now. You may have talked about this before on your own podcasts and so on, but what's the story behind the Archie comic run ending back in the day?
Honestly, I don't know what I'm allowed to say at this point still, despite all the years. And I don't know the full story myself. Everything I've heard has been secondhand at best. So
Gotcha.
I really don't want to add more fuel to the rumor mill. It's turning by itself just fine.
That's understandable. I recall you were once building up to a Mega Man X series, and I did really enjoy the Dawn of X story because it showed the life of the Maverick Hunters and Commander Sigma before he went Maverick. But what was your overall vision for the X series had it continued?
I basically wanted to do what I was doing with Classic and establish the world more robustly than you could necessarily do in the games. And with X specifically, part of the interesting thing of that series and part of the tragedy is the kind of fall of civilization. Mm-hmm. X1 starts off with the highway sequence, and that's an incredible, that's a hell of a place to drop you in, but you're also going on the faith of people understand, okay, this is a future city and people are in trouble. By default, you care that the innocents are in danger. What I wanted to do with the X series, if we had the time and we could, was see what life was like before everything fell apart. And especially build up Sigma. Because Sigma was supposed to be the Reploid's Reploid. The hero. The hunter of hunters. He was the one that everyone looked to, so that when he turned Maverick, when he betrayed everyone, it would be an honestly gasp-inspiring moment. I mean, sure, all of us who know Mega Man see it coming from a mile away. It's the principal story of X. Oh, there's Sigma again, causing trouble. But for anyone who hadn't grown up on X, or didn't know the story yet, I wanted Sigma's betrayal to actually be shocking and a gut punch, and make you really feel it, so that every time he came back after that, it wasn't the running gag of Sigma won't die. It was, look at how far the Paragon has fallen.
Right. Yeah, I'm really fascinated by the pre-Day of Sigma, Commander Sigma stories, because even recently X Dive has done a couple of events where you have Sigma, but before he went Maverick, and yeah, I would love for someone to explore that even more, but I'm glad that you got to for a little bit there. And then my last question, I heard that Udon is reprinting the Archie Mega Man comics through Mega Man Adventures, and a couple of the original writers are returning for new short stories. What can readers expect from those?
Yeah, it's going to be, as far as I'm aware, it's a planned 4-volume collection. None of the crossover stories, unfortunately, because that's a licensing nightmare. Mm-hmm. But otherwise, the whole Mega Man run, and each volume will have a new short story written by me and various veteran artists from the series coming back to draw it. And each one I wanted to be kind of a love letter to what that volume covers. And really, it's just fun getting back into that universe. So it's, still Mega Man focused, but it's also kind of a celebration of that version of Mega Man. So if you really love that storyline and that style of storytelling, and you want just a little bit more of that universe, you get that with each volume. And it was a little bittersweet, because it's like, man, I forgot how much fun it was doing this, and I wish we could do even more.
Yeah.
And, kind of hoping maybe if this does really well, maybe we can do a straight-to-trade Mega Man 4. Who done? Maybe, please. You have my number.
Please.
Call me.
Actually, that is a question I have as well. If you were given the opportunity, would you love to come back for another ongoing Mega Man series, whether that be Zero, Classic, or another one?
Oh, sure. Like, every version of Mega Man is an absolute delight to get into. And we've been talking about the main line, but there's also EXE, there's also Star Force. You really can't go wrong with Mega Man. I would even jump on that extremely weird alternate universe bad box art Mega Man that they had in the crossover fighter.
Ooh.
I would spin gold from that straw. Just give me the reins. I will drive it off a cliff laughing the entire way. But obviously the thing I would love most of all is just pick up where we left off with Archie Mega Man. Continue there. I still have the notes on some hard drive somewhere, because we had plotted it out through Mega Man 10.
Oh, okay.
Like we knew what we wanted to do, pretty much. So it would just, refresh my memory and hit the ground running. But if it was like a new version of Classic, or X, any of them, I'm happy. I just would love to work with the little blue bomber again, whatever form that takes.
Yeah, it's been a while for me, but I remember you introduced the Mega Man 9 Robot Masters pretty early on, so that they have more significance later. That's a neat detail.
Right. Because I was hoping that we were presuming we would get to 9. And when we got there, I wanted to actually be kind of sad that they were being decommissioned, because here they are. You've grown up with them across the whole story arc, and now they go. And if you are familiar with the Mega Man series, when you see them early on in the comic, you're like, oh, hey, that's neat. Oh, no, I know why they're doing this.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, lots of little foreshadowing here and there. I definitely enjoyed. Other than that, is there anything else you wanted to say to the fans before we go?
Just thank you for reading. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for sticking with Mega Man all this time. You are the reason I was able to do what I was able to do. And, let's stick with it.
Heck yeah. And Ian, where can we find you at?
My primary website is bumbleking.com. That's Bumble like the bee, King like the reigning monarch. That has my full portfolio. That has store links. It has info on my own podcast, The Bumblecast, which is a Q&A podcast where you can submit your questions and I answer nigh upon anything. And we have all sorts of perks like priority questions and guest spots and ad spots and all that jazz. Also, you can find me on Blue Sky at Ian Flynn BKC.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. And Ian, thank you so much for agreeing to be on this. Really appreciate you being here. And until the next
one. Be here. So keep fighting for everlasting peace.
Yep, for everlasting peace. We're gonna sign off now. And once again, Mega Man Zero Timelines, August 20th, may be out when this is out. So definitely go check it out. Until the next time, everybody, rock on and have yourselves a great time zone.